What's up, everybody?
What's up, guys?
What's up, man?
My name's Mark.
I like that. Enthusiastic. Your camera ready.
All right, we're ready. We're going. My name's Mark. I own Repair Lab in Palm Springs, California. We fix cell phones, tablets, computers, and game consoles. Even your smartwatch, your Apple Watch. If you got a Samsung watch, we'll still do that.
Nice.
Even some random stuff, some things people bring in. Fix your lamp, sometimes that happens. But we don't advertise for that, but they'll come in here and there. We don't expect that, but
on the side, huh?
when you see Repair Lab, they just think we'll fix anything.
Yeah,
but,
that's awesome. That's gonna actually be one of my questions.
Yeah.
But I'm your host. I'm really excited to have Mark. I mean, he's already jumped the gun on introducing himself, which is awesome. We got your co-host right here, Jake Baker.
What's up, guys?
And like I said, just really excited. Mark, my question, I guess, with that being that you have all tech repair, did you start off as iPhone only, or how did you start off in the tech repair?
Yeah, so when I first started, it was strictly iPhone. I only worked on an iPhone. When people asked me about Samsungs, I was like, I don't offer that. Because I wasn't even... I mean, I started when the cell phone or smartphones were still really new. I mean, to have an iPhone was
you were flexible.
Most people didn't even have one yet. I think I didn't even have an iPhone until I was in 10th grade, and all my homies had them already. And then we had the what was it? I had the chocolate, the LG chocolate, dude. That thing was the best. Yeah, the chocolate.
Dude, iPod Touch changed the world.
Yeah, the iPod Touch I begged for when I was a kid, but my mom was not about getting me those things yet. She was not, because she was like, I'm not spending that money. No.
Dude, I know, right?
I remember my homie Connor had the iPhone 3G in 7th grade, and we're like, dang.
Yeah.
He's got, or no, 2G. First iPhone. Yeah, 2G iPhone, 7th grade. We're like, dang, dude, you're rich.
Yeah.
Your parents love you.
Yeah, no kidding. Our parents just knew we were going to break that shit almost immediately.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, actually how I acquired my first iPhone was... got it from my next door neighbor. He had a 3GS, and back then you could just grab the phone, stick a SIM card in there, and use it as a phone, but you wouldn't have internet everywhere. It was you had to pay that extra money to have the internet, but when you get home you have Wi-Fi, so you could use it on Wi-Fi. So at least I had the iPhone. That was my goal, and got an iPhone and used it as well as I could. It's just because I could text and call people. And then when I got home, I could use the internet, which was cool.
Absolutely. All that shit on there.
Yeah.
Take us back, man. What age were you when you started fiddling with them? Screen repairs, cracks, or whatever, man.
So probably when I was 10th grade, you're 14 or 15?
Yeah, 15.
Yeah. That's when, actually maybe even 11th grade. I don't know. Somewhere around there. One of my good friends in high school, she had an iPhone 4. She always broke it, and she eventually just didn't want the phone anymore. So I was like, "Can I have your iPhone 4?" And she gave it to me. So when I got that, I was like, "Let me try to fix it." So I fixed it. Honestly, the parts I got, I could see little gaps in this frame and stuff. I was like, "No, this doesn't look perfect." But I was like, it works. It works. And I sold it. I didn't even want the phone. I just wanted to sell the phone because I already had I don't even remember what I had, but I think I had an iPhone then. I don't remember.
Right.
But I just remember I sold that. I drove down to Palm Springs. I had my license already and sold it for $80. And I was like, that's pretty tight. I just flipped the phone, made some money. And then,
you got it for free,
and I got it for free. So I just paid for the parts for probably $20, dude, and then made 80. So
come on now, that's fire.
Back then, that was good money.
That was good.
But then I, saw that the want to keep doing that.
Yeah,
so
and how often people, especially teenagers, are breaking their phones, right?
Yeah, and I mean, people were starting to get iPhones. I actually from Yucca Valley High School, I went to Palm Springs High School for a few years, and definitely seen a lot more iPhones when I went to Palm Springs High School. And I was always pretty jealous because I don't think I had one then. I was still trying to get one. But I was like, I fixed one, sold it, but I didn't even have one.
That's crazy, bro.
I don't know why I didn't keep that one, but anyways, yeah, I just
Standing on
didn't.
business.
I guess it wasn't the big deal to me.
Right.
So,
That's awesome.
but yeah, but actually before that even happened, you know, it's actually confusing. I'm trying to think back, but I got that 3GS I was talking about just a second ago, and within like 2 weeks, I think I got out of the car and it like was on my lap and fell onto the freaking, you know, the asphalt broke immediately, and I was like,
same thing happened to my first iPod Touch.
Yep.
So the same guy I bought it from, he was like, oh, I can fix that. I'm like, cool. So I bought the kit and he fixed it, and after it was done, it like worked, but there was no light showing, like the backlight was gone. So I was like, well, whatever. I mean, the guy didn't charge me. He was like trying to help me out. So I was like, okay, well, that sucks, but we'll, you know, try to figure it out. And luckily, my sisters lived in LA, and they're like, oh, we'll find someone to fix this. So I gave it to them, and they found someone to fix the backlight, and that was like, you know, a board level issue. That wasn't like just a screen plug in. There was people, you know, back then doing that already.
Intricate stuff.
And so I think that was prior to me selling the iPhone 4 and fixing things on my own, which I think always put something in my mind that I was like, I want to know how they fixed my phone, you know, that I had someone else fix, that they made the issue worse probably.
Right.
And and so I was like, okay, well, we got to, you know, figure this out. So I think that's kind of what sparked it all. And then, obviously making a little bit of cash on what I repaired and sold.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I don't think I really like got more phones to fix and sell. I just was like, let's see if I can fix other people's phones for money. So like in high school, I think it was more like 11th, 12th grade where it really got more, I was more serious with it. And I would put Craigslist ads up, and you know, like Craigslist was where it was at back then. And
Craigslist was popping.
I would, I didn't carry the screens in stock yet. I would like, you know, wait for someone to call me or text me, or I don't even know. Text, call.
Get a hold of you.
Get a hold of me.
On the landline.
Anyway, but
really aging yourself on the show, bro.
Dude, it's honestly scary how fast technology has grew just in like 10, 12 years I've been doing this. So basically I just, you know, would put them on Craigslist. People would call me. I'd order the screen for them, meet them at like McDonald's or Starbucks or anywhere convenient, even let people into my own home to do it. Or I would go to their home, you know, and then from there, that's where it all really sparked. You know, I seen people would call me to fix their phones, so I was like, okay, this is a way to make money. And I always had a regular job, you know. I started at McDonald's, or actually, no, I started at the Ribco as a host up in Yucca.
In Yucca?
Yeah, the Ribco.
The OG Ribco.
Dude, that place sucked, dude. They're like, 2 people would come in a night for that, dude.
Shout out Ribco.
Thanks for the job, Ribco, but
we hope you're doing better.
dude, I was so bored.
Literally,
but I appreciate the first job. My mom was like, you need to go find a job. I literally drove down the street to Ribco and got hired like in an hour. I came back, like, Mom, I got a job. And she's like, what? I'm like, it was actually pretty surprising. But
that's fire.
In high school.
In high school,
Nice.
that was like 10th grade, like right when you're supposed to, you know, go look for a
Go
job.
out.
You can get a job, you know. And she's like,
yeah.
you should go look for a job. So I did, and then that lasted a little while. I think I went through summer, and then like school started, and I was like, I really don't want to go back. And my mom told me straight up, she's like, you don't have to go back. I'm like, really? Okay. And I like didn't even go back. I didn't even quit or anything. I just never went back.
Stop showing up.
The U.S. government would say otherwise. Just kidding.
Dude, no, I remember she called me and was like, are you okay? I haven't seen you. I'm like, yeah, sorry. I just, you know, school started. I'm too busy now.
Yeah,
and
dude.
she was like, well, you could have like called. I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
I'm a
Didn't you
terrible
want to?
person.
Terrible person.
I caught that wrong. I think you said your mom said you didn't have to go back to school.
Oh, no. My mom definitely made me go back to school, but she didn't say I had to go back to work, which was cool for her. It was like
summer job, you know? Like that's usually
But I'm
not-
surprised she didn't say like, all right, well, you have to go let them know, you know? She's just like,
Right.
you don't have to go. I'm like, all right.
Nice.
But so then I think my next job was McDonald's.
Nice.
Which was cool. We had all the friends working at McDonald's. It was like me,
Yeah.
Connor, Katie Webb,
Nice.
Shaden, probably another few. And then That lasted about a year.
Just the group.
Just a good group, you know, working.
Cool.
I hated it, but I was at the front counter. I was the front counter. I was the face of McDonald's for that.
Nice.
With my visor on, dude. I did the
remember
visor.
seeing you,
I didn't do the hat. I was like,
Yeah, I remember seeing you.
Good for the golden arches.
yeah, and then they were all like, I remember, I couldn't believe it, dude. Connor was flipping patties, and like the girls were in the drive-through and were like running that shit.
That's cool.
And then our manager was my next door neighbor.
Oh,
Just the gang.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
What's up, everybody?
Dude, she already knew like who we were, what we did, like in my backyard, like
what you guys were
she-
about.
That's badass.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fun ass job, actually.
Dude, honestly, it wasn't bad. Like we were all comfortable, but then Connor quit, and I'm like, dude, I can't do this by myself. Like, I'm not gonna like sit here. I can't do this. So then I went to Vans. I got a job at Vans.
That's actually
yeah.
pretty sick.
So that was a cool like when you're like in your. I think I was like 18 or 19. Yeah. So like working at Vans was super dope.
Plus being a
Pretty
skater,
cool ass
Dude,
resume, bro.
They gave you 50% off shoes or all clothes, dude.
Yeah,
Dude, 50% off is a lot.
Dude, that's
shoes.
fire.
They want you to show up in the Vans outfit, so they're like, fuck.
Well,
you,
yeah,
give them
yeah,
a
exactly.
50.
But yeah, 50% was tight, and you get your friends or I think your family and maybe a friend like the same discount. So I'd always be getting my dad's shoes.
That's badass.
My mom, get her some high tops, and then. When I get someone's friend's baby shower, bring them some baby shoes.
Let's invite Mark to bring Vans.
Dude, Vans were my go-to if I was working there.
That's dope.
Fire. Vans are still my go-to. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love my
no.
Vans, bro. I know.
Wearing them right now.
Hell yeah.
Shout out Vans. No.
Yeah, and then from there I went to the skate shop in Palm Springs.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, that I got like an offer to go there, and I was like, yeah, I'm over Vans, just like fixing shoes that don't even need to be fixed or tying them. Like it just like got really boring.
Yeah.
Like I just have the mind where I'm like, what am I doing? Like this has no meaning besides like just having to kill time to look like you're working because they have to. You can't just sit there.
Literally,
Gotta look busy.
So yeah, I mean, I like the idea of working at Vans, but it just was kind of like just.
You just
At
had
a point, you get
different
over the
mindset.
high of being working at Vans, and it's just kind of whatever.
Yeah, I believe that. For
Yeah,
sure.
so then I was like, working at the skate shop would be tight, like, like where I go every day already.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then, so, yeah, I did that, and...
If you guys can't tell, Mark was a skater at
Yeah.
some point, a big time skater. So I'm sure the skate park was sick.
I used to be Skater Mark, now I am iPhone Mark, so,
Yeah.
or Fix Your Phone Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that's what I'm known as.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where things were kind of getting a little... Well, I skipped the whole part how I moved to Palm Springs, I guess, from Yucca Valley. After, like, doing, Craigslist, going into, like, McDonald's or Starbucks, meeting people, then we moved to Palm Springs, and I was like, I got to keep doing this. So, like, while I was working at Vans and the skate shop, I was still doing postings in Palm Springs, and they was getting way more, like, busier. Like, obviously, there's just more people there.
Slowly
Yeah.
growing, That's fire.
And, like, dude, I was, you sit at work all day for 8 hours. And back then, I'm pretty sure minimum wage was $8 an hour. Yeah, like it was low. It was low.
At McDonald's, so you McDonald's workers.
McDonald's was
$20.
$7.50, I think, and then like
Now you get paid $20 an hour.
$20 an hour. It's fucking nuts,
that.
dude. Like
It scares me that that's like even a thing because it just directly translates to everything else in the world.
yeah.
Not to
No,
get
I
off
seen a
topic, but
homie like
tough.
post the other day on Facebook like, hey, like anyone hiring today? McDonald's is paying people $20 an hour, but is anyone,
Want to double like match
meeting
that?
that? Because I don't want to work at McDonald's, like,
Right, bro.
but fuck, they're paying you that. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, that's what's scary is like these mom and pop businesses, like, and other businesses that we're doing our best to even like survive and then have employees.
Oh, dude.
Like, dude, to pay someone $20 an hour is not easy still.
That's good
Plus
money,
keep
bro.
your business going, but like $20 an hour.
Like where's
Times
how do you make
8
profit,
times times the 40 hours basically.
Yeah, dude.
I mean that's only a couple, $2 to $3 grand a month, and rent is so high now.
Dude,
It's like I don't.
It's scary the way the world is going.
I think about it every day. I'm like, but as a business owner, you think about that because you want to make your employees happy and like be able to but
Keep
it's
them around,
hard.
right?
Yeah, because there's a lot of bills and stuff that you got to pay for, then pay them.
Yeah, bro.
But back to what we were doing before all that.
Yeah.
Is
you were doing phone repair, tech repair,
just iPhones. Like
iPhone
when I
repair.
doing iPhones only.
While you're working at McDonald's and Vans and the skate shop.
Yeah, so the skate shop was kind of where I ended my career at the 9 to 5. Yeah, like I remember did that for like. I remember every job I had lasted like about a year.
Yeah,
like
bro.
that was like about when I was just like over it.
That's an entrepreneur's resume right
One
there,
year,
sure.
I just like it gets old. Like I can't sit there and do nothing. Like I just was like,
because it's fun at first, kind of. You know, it's like
like I'm doing nothing and getting paid, but then you're like, wait, I'm doing nothing. Like, like I'm gonna go walk around the park to make sure everyone's okay, or just like selling candy out of a, It's just. I knew there was something better than that, and
for sure.
And like, I started getting calls like while I was at work, like, hey, I need my phone fixed, this, blah blah blah. I'm like, I can't leave. I gotta schedule you maybe after this, and like to go do a repair, I would make like, $50, $60 when I'm sitting there all day to make $60, $70.
Yeah.
So then like if I could get 2 or 3 of those a day, there's a point where you have to like think like, all right, I got to get away from here, and then put your mind strictly to that. And like,
you got to bet on yourself, even though it sounds scary, right?
It is scary, but luckily I was doing it before I, quit. And I remember I went on vacation with my family, and I was just like talking to my mom and my sister. I was like, I really don't want to go back to the shop. Like, I just don't want to go back one more day and sit there. It sucks. Like,
life sucking.
Yeah, draining, dude, it just like was terrible. And
hit a moment to reflect, and you really reflected.
And
vacation will do that to you too, bro.
It makes you really not want to go back to work. It doesn't matter what situation you're in. But I was just like thinking, I was like, dude, there's no way I can go do another day there. I would be like aggravated.
Yeah.
Even though I love skateboarding, I love the skate park, and I loved everyone I worked with, and like shout out to Mark and Rob and Victor, everyone. I love you guys, but I just like I could do it another day, and so I. Basically, like I remember I forgot about work, like when I got back. Like I was just like I missed the day, and like my boss basically was like, "Hey, are you coming in?" I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, I'll be right there." And I lived like across the street. I wasn't very far. So I told him, I was like, "Yeah, sorry, I forgot. I'll be there." And I always remember this text. He's like, "Do you want to come back?" And I'm like. Not really. I was like, I couldn't even believe you asked me that. I was like, no, honestly, like, I think I'm done. And he was cool with it. Like, we're all homies still. No one was mad at each other. Like, we were all skaters. People like, he just knew, like, I was doing other things, I think. And, like, so that's, like, when that all ended. And, I kind of, like, brought on, like, full just priority to the phone repair and posted.
Hell yeah.
Like, Craigslist was still a thing back then. I don't even remember like what I posted on. Like I remember I made a Yelp page. Yelp. Yelp was the shit back then. Like Yelp is kind of dead now, but it's all about Google reviews now. Like, Yelp honestly like grew me to the max. Like I never paid $1 to their ads, but they had a free platform. Where you just post and people find you, and everyone always went on there. And
nice.
No, I always like think like Palm Springs was really a great place to make money. Like. The people there, are they spend money, and they want good service, and they appreciate a good person coming to them. And even though I was mobile, I didn't have a store. Like they appreciated me going to their house. So like that's what I started doing. I would get like even 2 a day. I was happy with, like, and I was getting them every day, which was crazy. Like so, I would make my $50 to $100. Like if I made $200 in a day, that was like. I was like, damn, dude, $200 a day, and like we had roommates in our apartment, and back then our apartment rent was like $1,200. So like there was 4 of us, so that's like $300 a month, or you had $300 a month, dude. And then a little bit of utilities, so like $300 was nothing.
You were doing that.
Made that in 2 days.
In 2 days, dude. I was like, damn, dude.
Had your rent and bills. In 2 days,
so like,
well, if you break down the math, 365 like divided by like. Or if you divide 100,000 by 365, it's like $200 or something like that a day. So like if you make $200 a day consistently for 365 days, you can make $100,000.
Yeah. And then back then, like
back then,
rich, bro.
Dude, that's why I was like, skateboarding and cars were like what kept me motivated, and like,
for sure.
I had my Volkswagen, my GTI, and got into like the whole car scene and like going to like we went to a lot of shows until I was like 22. Probably went to every show, and
that's
like
an expensive.
You
hobby,
get
too.
motivated because of what you see. You know, you're like, oh, I need
Absolutely.
airbags, I need wheels, I need this, I need that, and
makes you want to earn more.
And I remember I saw Norman Williams post with an air tank one day. I'm like, bro, you getting airbags, dude? Like, I'm like, that's what I need. I want airbags. And I was like, all right, if you're getting airbags, I'm getting airbags.
Hell
and
yeah.
like, we would just start hanging out and go to car shows.
Hell
and,
yeah.
you know, airbags are like $4,000. So I was like, you know, when you're that like in your early 20s, $4,000 is hard to just drop. So like
On a
Yeah,
hobby
sure.
too.
On a
you
hobby,
know?
yeah,
That's
but-
fire though.
we were just piecing it together, and we both had them, and we were just driving everywhere,
That's
going
sick.
places, and that
He
was
had a
like the
GTI
daily.
too, or which one did he? Oh,
He had the Passat. Yeah, he had the
yeah.
Passat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's what really like made me stoked that I was like making enough to buy things like that and pay rent and
Oh, dude.
you know like
And all off of
no
your
stress,
own-
like
yeah.
just
being your own
just-
boss.
Being my own boss was like to me like okay, I think about it now like being my age and just starting right now. I know it would be just a lot more harder because when you're young, you don't think.
Yeah.
You just do it.
Yeah,
Like you
that's
just
savage.
freaking do it.
You're
like,
not smart enough to doubt yourself.
yeah, you don't even think about doubts, dude. Like it's
You're fearless. You're young, you're fearless
So
almost,
anyone
you know?
who does watch this and you're fucking 18, 20, 21, 22, whatever, like
Yeah.
if you have an idea, do it now because
Yeah.
it only gets harder to start it later.
Doubt grows more and more.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, what gave you that confidence, like at a younger age or whatever, to like take those bets on yourself? Was you know what I'm saying? Like,
Wasn't
you know,
smart enough to doubt himself.
well, that is part of it, but I think I just seen that I was making, even if I made like $100 a day, I was decent, you know.
Yeah.
I just luckily had roommates and like I didn't have a car payment. I didn't had a cheap rent, so that helped. Like
Your
really, it was
expenses
the
were low.
expenses
Keep
being
your
low.
expenses
yeah,
Like
low.
that's fire.
because
at
when you
first.
fucking just try to ball out immediately, like
Yeah.
and have that's like where it stresses you out and you can't move forward. Like
Yeah.
you're just like always looking to almost make money too fast because you're like
Yes.
you need it.
You need it. Yeah.
You
and
need
it's
it.
all he's gone. You
It's
know?
called
Yeah,
the
it's
rat
going
race.
somewhere.
Yeah.
It's when you start to make a little bit of money, you're like, I can afford the nice car.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
afford
And,
this.
and luckily
that.
back then there wasn't social media.
yeah,
Dude,
literally.
I feel bad for the kids nowadays. Like it's
Dude,
so
Flex
Oh.
culture is crazy.
flex culture, man.
It's
like,
bad, yeah. Like I think about it all the time. Like like even being at my age, like I have to just get off that stuff
Yeah.
because I see it too and get like, oh shit, I haven't done enough.
Dude,
I'm like,
yeah.
I don't even haven't done enough. Like I should be just happy. Like you know,
absolutely,
like
bro. Absolutely.
yeah, I get on myself sometimes and I don't like it. It
Yeah.
just doesn't feel good. So it's like.
Yeah, it's icky. It's
It's
disgusting,
so
you know?
entertaining though, like to watch reels all like you know, or
So
It's
easy.
like,
to
addicting
it's
almost.
so weird how
easy.
addicting it is,
Yeah.
and I always do get addicted to it.
They have it figured out to a science, bro. Like, they really do.
and that's what scares me because I'm all into technology, but I personally like more hands-on. Like I
Right.
really could care less about the new iPhone or this or
Right,
that. Like
yeah.
like it's just so repetitive now. Like it's not getting much better. Like
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So to me, what's getting better is what, like the AI stuff, the
That's what I was gonna ask you, yeah.
basically, just every integration on any website that almost knows what you want.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Is reading like when you're talking about something and the next thing you know you're seeing ads on your phone or something.
Yeah,
like that.
dude, I don't
that's
like
what
that.
freaks me- That's what freaks me out.
It's like just think about in 10 years from now, like it's gonna be weird.
Dude, or the brain chips, the Neuralink.
Oh yeah, the Neuralinks. Yeah.
We
See,
can
I'm not
all
into
that.
that. Like I don't.
It's
I don't.
crazy shit.
I almost want to go backwards, dude. You know, like I
Yeah.
just want to like be.
Yeah.
I just want it to be basic again, but
Yeah.
it's never going to be.
The
It's only
good
going to go.
old
And I'm
days.
trying to. And I think what scares me the most because I'm in the technology world and like, but I'm more about the repair and the hands-on. Like I love business. Like I've learned to like the business side as well because to be honest, I started out not as a business person. I started out because I was making money on what I was able to do.
And buy your car stuff.
Yeah, like it wasn't like, oh, let me check the numbers real quick. Let me go,
Mm-hmm.
make sure, our stats are good. Let me go pay my taxes. Let me
Yeah,
go
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
dude, that's the last thing I want to do. But I have to
Absolutely.
do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
but I think when I first started, it taught me that, in the beginning, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to start, like you don't need to like, build this crazy website. You don't need to
Pay all this money to
pay all this ad money. Like
Yeah.
you just go out there and freaking do what you want to do and make $1, and then that's what really sparks the motivation. Yeah, dude, like that's what feels awesome. Like I
It was almost like you didn't understand or know that you were getting into a business or being a business owner. You just were doing something to make a little bit of money.
Yeah, it's people I think want to be own a business or like, do their own thing, but they try too hard in the beginning to make it look like this pretty picture,
bro.
And that's one thing that I always hated in my industry is like people can make themselves look so good, but they were not good.
Wow.
Like it just was like a marketing strategy, or they had money to pay for this,
or pay for the Google, right?
Yeah.
To be number one on Google or whatever.
And I agree, like depending on where you live, there's a lot more competition. You have to pay for ads or do things to, get yourself out there more, because you will get skipped over if they're so saturated.
Yep.
But I believe where we live, like especially Palm Springs area,
yeah, man,
it's big, but it's small. Like word of mouth goes a long way.
Yeah.
Organic like reviews and things, that's what made me grow. And I have never really spent money on ads.
I believe it.
Like personally, I hate it, because every time I have spent money on these little things, I get so frustrated that I don't feel like I've seen anything from it. Like it's
like,
just,
what did it gain me?
Yeah, like it didn't do much. Like we still did good this month, but we didn't do better. Like like only way I do better is like the next person who tells the next person to come to us. Like it's when someone likes you, they like you and they trust you, and they're gonna tell their friend. Like that's
organic,
to me, man. I feel like the best. Unless you live in a big city where it's really difficult to spread the word, then I believe, the ads and stuff need to be made, because there's too many people and it's hard to, get yourself out there, at least to start.
Yeah.
So, geographically it depends on where you are.
Totally makes sense.
From the beginning, was it tough to get into the business, or or were you just kind of like you already had the ball rolling and you just started to run with it?
Luckily I never really had, like, I think back, the hardest part was in the beginning is thinking about, what am I going to call myself? Like on Yelp, like what's my name?
I fix marks.
I
fix it.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what's the name going to be? Like, I can't just put Mark Vanderpol fix his phone, So like I'll never forget. It was all of us just like chilling on a couch in our apartment in Palm Springs. Connor, me, and Caleb Woods.
Nice.
And I was like making my Yelp page because we just moved down there. I was like, all right, what am I gonna call myself, guys? And then Caleb just said like, just call yourself MVI Phones. I'm like, I thought about it. I was like, maybe. And then they just ended up using that. Like, I couldn't think of anything better, so I was like, all right, MVI Phones it is.
Yeah, you're like, that's actually
means
fire.
Means nothing, but at least it's something. Like.
And you only liked working on the iPhones too.
Yeah. So
there you go,
dude. That's what's crazy is like, I was pretty like against working on anything else in the beginning. Even iPads were scary to me. Like,
I bet,
just because I could go somewhere, do an iPhone, and know it could be done in 20, 30 minutes. Like an iPad, a lot more labor. It's harder to do that in someone's house or like at a Starbucks. Like you need a heat gun, you need this. Wasn't like
more intricate for sure.
It just wasn't something you could do mobily as easily. So that's where things started getting to a point where I was like, dude, I need a store. Like if I'm gonna get more than 3 or 4 people a day, like because I'm driving back and forth.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Or if I want to like have all the tools in one place to be able to offer these repairs and also do them correctly, reliably, and not like on this person's counter in their house, like where like if something screws up, they're gonna be like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, well, I'll be back in an hour when my other stuff. I just hated that feeling. I wanted it to be legit. So that's definitely when things changed. I think I was 22. It was 2017. And I was able to get a little store in front of the dog groomer and basically right next to where I work right now already. The shop is. It's just like a few doors down. But yeah, I just went around and looked for a place and saw this little spot, like 500 square feet, like super tiny. subleased it off the dog groomer for $500 a month.
Dope.
So it's like $500 a month is like, even if it doesn't work, at least it was only $500 a month.
And that's on Palm Canyon, like Main
Dude,
Street.
yeah, it was on Palm Canyon. So to me, like downstairs on Palm Canyon for $500, like, and it's not like an office space. It was actually like had a door you can walk into.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, this could work.
Yeah.
Even though like it was literally, like you walk in, you probably have like 5 feet. Then there's a counter. And then 2 feet behind there's my desk.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't like anything extraordinary.
That's all you
Didn't need
though,
much
right?
though.
Yeah, and then I had a one slat wall, like the 2x4 with like 5 accessories on it.
Right,
And like a
yeah.
TV in the corner, and but that was the start of really what made everything just really go to the point where it is now. Yeah, it was pretty cool how that started.
Have you expanded since?
So I've tried a few things. A year later, like 3 doors down, I got a full space, like not just a sublease off this other lady.
Mm-hmm.
My dog groomer, she's actually, I always, shout out to her because she let me
Yeah.
sublease right off her, and I still talk to her every day.
Yeah,
she's
a
like,
homie, huh?
she's like she's like another mom to me now. She's
That's
just like
awesome, bro.
take care. I love her. She's so awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out Mark's dog.
Yeah.
Miriam, we love you.
Yeah.
But a year later, like we definitely needed more space, and
For
like
sure,
I was
yeah.
ready to spend like it was still only like $1,100 a month for like a 900 square foot, like what we are in today, literally today, and got the whole back room, 3 desks, another little area. We have to store like donor parts, whatever, and then a little inventory section.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like a legit store now. Like we have 3 workstations.
That's all you need.
And
really, right?
You really don't need more, but I do need more space now. I'm not gonna lie. Like I need probably. I don't need it. I almost want it. It's like a goal of mine. Like now that I have what I have, like the next step is either make more stores and try to hire more people and like do that route, or just be happy with what I have, but get your dream shop.
Bigger, yeah.
Your
Customize
vision,
it
your
how you
dream. I never put a lot of money into this one because, first off, it's an older building, and I never knew how long I was going to stay there. I've already signed at least twice now, and now I'm just like, I could get kicked out at any time, but I don't want to sign on the lease because I keep thinking I'm going to, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's still good. If something happens, we'll figure it out. But to me, if something happens, it would be maybe. It was meant to be. It would get me, to that next step.
Yeah, kicking the rear end, huh?
Yeah,
awesome.
because I've looked around and almost got these other places, and it's almost like good that I didn't because they're, a decent spot and like a nice complex, maybe like near a grocery store, this or that.
Yeah.
It's like $5,000 a month.
Yeah, no. I mean,
So like me thinking I could do that, and luckily I didn't do it. I think back like. I'd rather pay my employees more than, spend it all on rent. Like, it's not...
That was beautifully said, man.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
not worth it. It's
awesome. And almost like you said, too, basically not trying to go all out in the advertising or in the storefront or anything like that. Like, working on your craft, like, keeping your team close, like, paying your people right, like, that goes a lot more than, like, the flashy sign on that, right? Or something like that.
pretty much. Yeah, even though I do want all that, like... I've been in business almost for 8 years. Next February, it's been 7 years now. So the store, yeah. And it works well. Everything's good average every month. Like I'm not stressed out or worried. I know it's could probably run itself even if I wasn't there. But I don't have anything better to do. So I gotta do that. That's it's probably best I'm there.
That's perfect.
But yeah, one day hopefully get to that point. But that comes when.
My next question actually for you was, who taught you to be an entrepreneur? Was that something you just kind of developed through doing this? Or like, was there somebody that you looked up to that you were like, you know what, I want to be my own boss one day? Like, was that ever something in your head, like when you were young or?
Kinda. My dad owned his own pool business in Palm Springs, so he always kind of had a business side to him. And I always actually think about myself. I'm like, literally have like half my dad's genes and half my mom's genes, like, and them together made, I think, like a very perfect. I don't want to call myself perfect. That sounds really bad. just a really good like mindset. Let's say
fire,
that. My
bro.
mom's very spiritual. She like optimistic. Like
Yeah.
you know,
Nice.
she could care less about business. Like
Right.
she doesn't want to deal with that stuff. But
Yeah.
my dad, you know, is all about money and numbers and you know the future
So
and
you
blah
got
blah
the
blah.
best of
So
both
I
of
just
them.
feel like, but sometimes my dad is very like, oh, you got to do it this way or that way. Like you know,
Over
to
the
the
top,
point. Like
uh-huh.
I'm like, dude, dad, it's not that
Yeah.
hard. Like I mean, not that hard, but like not you know like.
That complicated.
I don't almost like I love my dad and a lot of his advice, but
Uh-huh.
then sometimes I'm like kind of on my mom's side. I'm like, you know, you got to try these things. You know,
Absolutely, yeah.
I just a little more
Optimistic.
open. Yeah. Sorry, Dad. Don't hate me for saying
Yeah.
that,
Conservative, right?
but I still love you both. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
That's
no,
good,
no,
though.
no. Honestly, I always think about that. Like the combination of the two, I think made me who I am, and
Yeah.
definitely made me believe in you know when I started that I could you know get to where I want. I never knew really what I wanted. Like
Yeah.
it was kind of just you know I just kept doing like you know like
Just
you
started,
like you
yeah.
guys always say you know persistence is key, and I just had nothing better to do besides skateboarding, cars, and cell phone repair. That was like, but the phones made the money, so you know you have to make money to pay for the cars
Yeah.
and you know
And
skateboarding
income.
for fun.
Yeah.
And sucks because you know the older you get out of some of your older hobbies. But
Yeah, bro.
but yeah, no the
You still three flip the six
qu-
stair
the
or
qu-
something
the
crazy.
quad.
huh?
the quads
bro,
back in the
come
day.
on,
Yeah.
That was one of
Oh,
the
yeah.
first videos that I seen actually of anyone doing it. Like I had heard stories of people doing it, but like the first film of anyone doing it was this guy right here, man. So
Yeah, no,
respect for that, dude.
Hey,
That was
Yeah.
like a 3-flat-3, right?
yeah.
Yeah, the 353 Yucca Valley
Huge,
High
though.
School. Yeah,
Huge.
yeah.
Ooh, if you're in Yucca Valley, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, that was a cool thing back in the day. Even though
That was
people are
fire,
doing
bro.
that down like freaking 30 stairs now, but
right, but
skateboarding is
11-year-olds.
insane. Yeah, but no, I do think that you know formed me in a good direction.
yeah, man.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, other than that, you know, the entrepreneur side, I remember like going to. He's kind of like a step uncle, but very wealthy. Like lived next door to Stevie Wonder. Like yeah, like dude, I would go into this. I was super young when I would go there, but dude, this place was huge. I was like, damn, and this is like the dream, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Out
this
there
is,
in Palm Spring or Palm
no, this
Desert,
was
or-
in Calabasas. You know,
Oh.
Calabasas. You know, Richie.
Yeah. Walking in Calabasas.
yeah, yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've never
But
been there.
yeah, you know, they got the tennis court, the big pool, they got the mansion, they
Absolutely.
got everything. But I just remember my sister. I'm like, what does he do for a living?
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, oh, he's an entrepreneur. I'm like,
Entrepreneur.
what does that even mean? Like, what does that word
do you
mean?
spell
Like, yeah,
entrepreneur?
yeah. I didn't know what that meant when I was that.
Dude.
You know, most people won't because they're
Right.
just like, that's a big word.
But it
Uh,
shows you what is possible. Like,
yeah, and then I
dude,
found out he was like an accountant for rich people, but like,
Yeah.
like you know, which being an accountant is kind of you're an entrepreneur. You had to still go to like you have to create your own business as an
Yeah.
accountant. But that was like the first time I heard of that word,
Yeah.
and then
Wow, yeah.
it's I kind of always like. I was like, I want to be an entrepreneur, even though I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know what that meant. Like, like obviously that's a very broad word because you
Yeah.
could be an entrepreneur in anything.
Right.
So I mean, that would be probably the best way to explain
Yeah.
that.
For sure, man.
That, I
No,
mean,
that's great.
even as like how you said, like you never knew what an entrepreneur was. Like some people would be like, "Yeah, he makes a lot of money," or they make, you know, this person makes a lot of money. But it's about what you do with that money too. That makes you the entrepreneur. Like you diversifying your funds
Yeah.
is gonna help, you know, or it's gonna classify you as an entrepreneur. You could be a doctor making $1 million a year, but if you're spending it like crazy on nothing that important,
Yeah, the
You're
spending
not really
is
an
where it's hard. And like, to me, I can save, but then there's the things I want are expensive.
Absolutely.
So then it's like you save it and then you go drop the ball.
splurge,
yeah,
yeah.
I splurge. Like,
Yeah.
which you know, like I've never like you know spent it all, luckily. But you
All
know,
black.
like yeah, and luckily I don't like to gamble, so
Good.
I
Yeah.
suck at it, and
Yeah.
it just I watch my friends gamble, and they won't even buy themselves a T-shirt, but they'll go
Yeah.
fucking spend hundreds of dollars
Dude,
at the freaking
To
casino.
break even.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, oh, it was a good night. I broke even. I'm like, dude, what? I can't
Yeah.
even. I can't play with that type of money. Like, that.
Yeah,
It
no,
makes me
gambling
nervous.
scares me, man.
Me too.
I just can't throw. If I spend money, it has to be something that I can see
Yeah,
and
bro.
use. Like even if like, and I even get excited like when I buy something that I know like could be resold for something at least close to what I bought it for.
Absolutely,
Like,
yeah.
you know, like at least it's not a full loss.
Yeah,
You know, it's
yeah.
like
more of an
it's not
investment.
an,
Yeah.
it might not be an investment either,
Right.
because like to me it's cars. Cars
Right.
are never.
That's very
But no, like just like at least
Get something
you
back
get
for it.
something back, and like as long as it's not like taking you to the bottom, and
That's very
you got to
true.
make yourself happy. You can't just work, and
Yeah.
like
Gotta enjoy it too.
that's why you do it.
Yeah,
I
gotta
mean, what's the
enjoy it,
point of
yeah.
like working hard and not enjoying a little bit of things in life, because life's short and you don't want to just die with all this money. Like, what's the point of
Or
that?
get too old to the point where you're not even able to enjoy anything. Then you gotta. I'm
Yeah.
a big believer on enjoying it while we can. Like. for
Yeah,
sure.
no, I really, I mean, to me, the newer generation is different because we spend more money, I think, than the older generation who had
Yeah.
businesses. They were all about saving their pennies, and like, I mean, especially my family, like on my dad's
Yeah.
side, like, dude, like, me and my dad go back and forth. Luckily, he I know he judges me, but like,
Right.
well, he still loves me and supports me, but
Right.
he's always telling me not to do things, but I'll do it anyways,
Right,
because I'm
right.
just like, I gotta do it. Like, this
Yeah.
is why I like.
That's how we learn too, though.
Yeah, like,
what
I,
not to do and what to do.
But then he's like supportive. He's like, you gotta have what you want. I'm like, I know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but he'll always give me his 2 cents.
Yeah. Not saving enough.
Yeah. Or put it in this, put it in that,
Yeah.
instead of spending it on
Depreciating
some
assets
crap.
or
Yeah,
liabilities,
yeah.
more so.
Yeah, which like, and I'm terrible at like investments, to be honest. That's one of my downfalls. Even though like I know how to make money, but I don't know where to put it sometimes. Like that's a learning curve of me right now.
Yeah.
Opportunities to learn though.
Yeah, no, I'm always learning. There's so much to learn, especially when you like get comfortable. Like you got to know what to do with what you make, and
Right.
I mean, I'm only going the easy routes, like a Roth IRA or something.
Right,
like
yeah.
I have one of those.
Which is
I
smart,
put
bro.
$500 a month in, and
It's fire, yeah.
if it does something in the future, I'm happy. But if it doesn't, fuck.
Yeah. No, I
but
feel that.
yeah, no, like I've had a Roth IRA for like I think since I was 25.
Oh, nice.
With
Oh,
like
dude.
$500 a month, and there's like 15 grand in there,
Yeah,
like
oh,
at
for
least
sure.
there's something, as there's
That's
savings
good, man,
other
yeah.
than like other
That's a
things,
couple
but
years, though.
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
not too like.
If you keep
At
doing
least
that,
it's something you're just putting away and not thinking about.
And
like,
it grows though, right? It grows its own
Yeah.
way as well.
yeah, and like recently I just because sometimes I don't know what to do, so I'm just like, let me go find an easy investment. So like I did like a money market at or actually was it a money or a CD or something, like just
yeah.
something basic, but
Yeah.
they were, I think, like around 5%, which banks don't pay you anything to keep your money in, so you might as well just put it in something, and it's like
Just sitting there.
for 10 months you get 5%. So like
good.
obviously you can't like pull it out, or else you take some interest out and like
Yeah.
lose some. But if you can put it away for a year, then
Yeah.
at least you made
good
something.
place to
Yeah.
park your money for sure.
And it's good discipline to learn, like
It's basically the beginning of learning
beginning, bro.
investments. Yeah, when
Absolutely.
you don't know what you're doing, like
Yeah.
obviously I've tried some crypto shit and it's just
Right.
fucking.
Just
That
as
stuff
bad as
stresses me
gambling.
out, man. I don't. Yeah, that I personally like always lost money, and I had like money in Dogecoin, since like when it's like 4 years ago when it was like a cool thing,
Yeah, yeah.
And then, yeah, dude, I just left it there because I knew went down way. I was like, no way, I'm just gonna lose $1,000 and just pull it
Yeah.
out. So I left it, and this in January, dude, shit went up, dude. I was like, I'm gonna wait till it breaks even. I waited even a couple little extra cents. Dude.
Yeah.
Made like $300.
yeah.
5
So
year
when,
investment.
yeah, 5-year investment
Yeah.
right there.
It's a good
Yeah.
feeling though, not to lose it. Right?
Honestly, there's nothing better than not losing. Like even if it's even or anything. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, straight
I
up.
mean, I have no idea what I'm doing in that, but it felt good not to lose.
I didn't lose.
That's my problem with the fucking casino. I hate losing. So
Yeah,
like when
so
I lose,
You want to break even?
Yeah, I'm such a sore loser. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
fuck this
Me too.
place.
Well, dude,
too, bro. Never
Well, you guys
coming
live.
back, bro.
I mean, I guess we're like right in the middle. You guys are Morongo. You go to Morongo.
Bro,
Yeah.
I mean, just for a good time, just to watch the fights or
Yeah.
something.
And then you're like,
Yeah.
shit. Let me look over to this table real quick.
Yeah.
Lose $20.
What's
I'm
your
like,
favorite
I'm
game?
Fucking out, dude.
Yeah.
I play blackjack or roulette, dude.
Those are my favorite too. If I play, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy story. I was like, been plotting to go out with some friends because like how I mean, sure, talking on the podcast, you guys know that I've been staying in,
Yeah.
not drinking, not smoking. So I was like, I had $21. I'll go out with some friends, and then I'm gonna put $20 on or 21 on 21.
Oh
And
my
then I tried to like
God.
be smart about like I was investing in some shit. I was like, I'm gonna put 10 on red and then
Yeah. Do it
5
strategically.
on a column and then the other 5 on the 21. And I did that. They're like, oh, you have to put 20, like minimum 20 on something. So I was like, all right, let me just put it all on like
Yeah.
a column.
You just picked one number, or like?
I went to go pick 21 because I was like, I haven't done it in so long. I haven't really spent or done anything crazy, and I might
Yeah.
as well just put $21 on 21. And I was like, but once they told me that, I moved it to a column, and then when it hit 21, bro.
Oh,
it
dude,
hit 21,
yeah.
and I
Yeah, that's a lot of money if you hit the number.
Yeah, it would have been like $600, but
Yeah.
I fucking dropped the ball, and that
Yeah.
was my sign. I'm like, I'm not good at the casino. I'm out of here. Like,
Yeah.
You second guessed yourself.
Some people are like slots. Like I don't know
Yeah,
how
bro.
people make money on slots. I've never made $1 on slots.
Me
Like,
neither.
but some people just know how to make those things work. I don't get it.
they
By
just
pushing
smack
the
it right
button.
on.
Dude, I
You spit on
blows
it
my
first.
mind.
That's
It's
crazy,
crazy.
man. Absolutely. No, that's actually that's my problem when I go to the casino. But so branching away from Yucca Valley, like that was probably the turning point for you, like with the whole entrepreneurial stuff, right? Like going to Palm Springs, that's where you like really found your rhythm, right? Like for sure.
Yeah, I don't think it would have lasted in Yucca Valley. I've had so many people like tell me I should open a store in Yucca Valley, and like it'd be a good idea, maybe like I just know what I'm used to.
Yeah.
It could still be profitable, but I'm still learning how to let a shop run itself because I obviously won't be there every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Employees are probably the hardest thing of having a store in my field because it's so much responsibility of these people's phones and tablets. Like it's their
Yeah,
life,
bro.
Like I feel lucky that if someone messes up something in my shop, I can at least reverse it pretty quickly,
go.
like
Yeah.
within that same day for that person.
Dang,
Because who can
yes.
live without a phone for one day?
Dude, nobody now.
No one. Like-
It'd be a good like business to try to branch out to.
Yeah,
Yucca 'cause
and-
it's so essential.
And I have a whole like other than my store, basically we do B2B, business to business. So like all the stores out there who are more of like the business type who open up stores and hire techs to do, repairs, when they mess up, I offer a service where they send it to me and I do it at a discounted rate.
Yeah.
And we fix their mess up, or
Oh, wow.
they're fixing something they just don't do, or they're going to make a profit off of because I give them a better deal than our normal customer. So that's like a whole nother. That's like instead of having another store, that's like almost another side hustle
Yeah.
business because we're getting mail-ins, not just a walk-in. So
Yeah.
I think that's always helped me stay busy.
For sure. Yeah.
Because I try to keep everyone
A lot
else
of
in the
those
store busy.
restaurants use like tablets and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
so like restaurants, we do like tablet repair a lot for. To be honest, like we help a lot of like local businesses, but it's still not as popular as what we get mail in from other like repair stores.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Repair stores are what's sending us these things
Wow.
because, say you have a repair store and your tech that you hired is working on an iPhone 6 or iPhone 6. Who's another iPhone? Let's say iPhone 13, 15, 14, whatever. God, I'm thinking
Just
way
for the-
too
just
far
for the
back.
sake of 2024.
Yeah. Anyways, say they like plug it in and didn't, just nick when they're prying off the cable, they knocked off a capacitor or a filter or something that made that display turn on.
Damn.
Like they can go plug in 30 screens, it's never going to turn on again.
Yeah.
like that
And
phone
they-
is like just it has a circuit that's
Yeah.
broken. Like so that's where like I advertise as like I repair your guys's, either your something that got messed up and now they need to send it in as quick as possible to get it back to their customer. Maybe they have donor phones for them or something. Which would be very difficult on my end because I've never had to do that. But I think about them, like, how did someone not be able to have a phone for a few days?
donor
But
phone?
they,
Yeah.
yeah. So they, they make it happen because it gets mailed in all the time.
Yeah.
So things like that, or like say they get a charging port for an iPad. Like those charging ports are soldered straight to the logic board, so like you don't just plug it in. So to offer that repair, I mean, you're a repair shop. You got to be able to offer an iPad charge port. That's
Yeah.
a very common one. So
Yeah.
they'll like tell the customer, all right, this is like a 2 to 5 day turnaround, and then they'll send it out. We fix it and send it back to them,
Nice.
and then
you built some pretty good relationships with other businesses through that, or like you usually
Yeah,
work
yeah,
with the
we
same people?
work with a lot of local ones,
Uh-huh.
and then there's some like all of them are in California.
That's awesome, bro.
And then,
Nice.
when I started, the board level stuff is what I wanted to do. Like,
Yeah. The brain, right?
yeah, if something broke on the board, I wanted to be able to be fixed in our shop and not have to do what I was explaining and send it off or do
Yeah,
anything like
bro.
that. So,
That's fire.
in 2015, before I even had a store, I found like a 1 week class in New York and went to it.
Oh shit.
Invested in yourself,
And
bro.
see, like
That's awesome.
that's
fire.
where really things. That's how I like back then I didn't know, but then I think about it now. It's like I really wanted to do what I wanted to do because I think I asked for that as like a Christmas present because I was still like 17, 18. It was like $3,000 to go to this class for a week,
so
plus a
good,
plane
man.
ticket.
Yeah.
And
Plus the experience of going out.
yeah.
To New York, that's
Well, no,
fire.
dude. This was Rochester, New York. This wasn't New York City.
Oh.
This was like, this was like not. Trust me, I thought the same thing when I was like, I'm going to New York.
Yeah,
I'm like, wait, what
you
the
get
fuck
there,
am
you're
I?
like, what the hell? That's hilarious.
Literally, it was like kind of not the place I expected I was going to be. But
Right.
other than that, it was like a lady I found on YouTube who did this type of repair and taught soldering classes, and
Wow.
Jessa Jones from iPad Rehab.
Nice.
She's still pretty famous out there
Shout
right now.
out.
I actually just saw her last couple weeks ago when I went to Vegas to an expo.
Nice.
Nice.
So yeah, I went to her to learn the basics of soldering and was doing like little charge ports and trying to do like little teeny capacitors and stuff because like the soldering irons you usually see have like pretty big tips and you have like there's different sizes in soldering and like they call this micro soldering because it's pretty tiny. You gotta look
Right.
under a
I was
microscope
gonna say,
and like
you gotta be really little to be messing with the
So like you got to
soldering.
learn how to stay steady, look through a microscope, and
wow.
use your hands. That's like step
Intense.
one.
Yeah.
And then from there you just keep practicing because you're only there for a week.
Yeah.
So you got to go home and buy the equipment.
Yeah.
And then practice yourself.
Expensive or no? Like to get it going?
To be honest, compared to some things, it's not that expensive. Like you can buy a whole good setup for a few $1,000.
Not too bad,
A
huh?
couple thousand, yeah.
Yeah.
But to
But
most
back then,
people,
most people are so hard to invest in their self with the business. Like
Yeah, the right tools.
so
no
many,
way I'm gonna
you know
drop
how
$2
many
grand on
people
that.
I've tried to just tell them like just buy it. Like
Yeah.
what the heck are you waiting? He's like, I don't know if I should buy.
Yeah.
Or they'll buy like a really cheap soldering station and then they have trouble, getting
Yeah.
things hot enough to
Yeah.
take things. I'm like, dude, you spent $200 when you can spend $300 more is not a lot when it's gonna make you so much more money.
Of the difference, too, yeah.
It's like, and that was, and personally, I've always, I didn't like crappy equipment, even when it came to like cars. And I gotta get the OEM or like the original. I'm not getting the fucking aftermarket
Yeah.
shit.
Great quality.
you were just like, I'm getting the good
Yeah.
shit from the get go.
Even to this day, like sometimes I'll go buy something. Let me save some money on this, and I get it. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck was I doing, dude?
Yeah.
Like I already knew this was gonna be shitty, dude. And then
I try to explain this to Mike all the time. It's like, well, you need the right tools for the job, man.
yeah, like
A
dude,
lot
you
of
gotta buy the good
times.
microphone, you gotta buy the good computer, the
Yeah.
good camera, like the lights, like it all matters,
Yeah,
dude.
because compared to everything else going on in the world, like people are already using the best stuff. So it's like, why not? Like if you're not getting the best stuff, you're automatically not even close to their level. So it's like, get the best
Yeah.
stuff that you
and
can.
and like part of what people say, like the tools sometimes help you, be better. It's not
Dude,
sometimes your
yeah.
skill. Like you got to have a good tool. Like
I agree.
I definitely
man.
have learned too that as you spend money on the cheaper stuff, you're gonna end up learning that it was crap. And
you're
then
gonna
you
work
throw it
harder
out.
to make it work better. You know.
Yeah.
Well, that, and then you also just throw it out and then end up spending.
Yeah, you're gonna rebuy it and spend more money.
Yeah,
double
absolutely.
spend
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
No.
That's how we
Trust
learn.
me, dude. Humans only want to save money, and I still do it to this day. And but there are some things you can save money on. I'll
Right.
agree. But then, for longevity and what you use every day,
Yeah, man.
it's better to save up and just buy the right thing.
Kind of like going back to what we said, just betting on yourself. Like you're not a
Yeah.
good gambler, but you bet on yourself. You
Yeah, you
Yeah.
always
didn't even do that as a gamble.
dude. Exactly.
That's fire.
That's what's up, man.
That's
So,
good stuff.
I guess because we are here on a Friday night, how do you think skipping out on hanging out, or how do you think your business and elevating your business has made you skip out, or even caused you to skip out on hanging out with friends on the weekends, or and how has that affected your growth?
I've always had a very small group of friends that I've had forever. I feel like so I liked when I hit like 21, hit experience the life of going out and doing things, and to be honest, when I first got my store, I remember there was a few Saturdays where I was fucking hung over going to the shop, like throwing up trying to get there, dude. And like I'll never forget, like at least a few times, like having to close and go, because I didn't even have a bathroom in my first store. I had to go upstairs. Oh, so I like close, run upstairs, puke, fucking come back down. Like, dude, it was, and then you gotta stop doing that eventually. But
in the bag drinking the
I personally I'm a guy who likes to have fun, dude. It's hard to balance it out.
Yeah. We all like to have fun.
At this day and age, I have stopped a lot. Like I really don't care about going out like I used to. Like even to think about going to a club or something, like almost like I'm scared of the next day, dude. I don't want to feel hungover. I'm so scared of the next day now. Like that's kind of my biggest fear that made me like if I can go home and chill and like do a few of my little projects that make me happy and then wake up the next day, like 100%, that's more better than
it's
anything.
price is way more valuable.
Which took a while to feel that way. Like even like to this day, I'll still go out and do something and be pissed the next day. But it's just life. You want to have fun still.
We all get FOMO.
Yeah, get FOMO. Dude, I'm the worst at FOMO, dude. I talk about it all the time. I'm like, dude, I hate when I see something fun going on. Like I just like can't not be there.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, I know.
Seriously.
But I've always been like the type who likes to have fun, dude. I don't know, like, and luckily, with the business I have, like, I didn't have too much struggle with going out, but I don't think I was ever as I guess I never partied as hard as some of my other friends. Like I would go with them to the party, but I was not as
cake stands.
I was not as going as hard as they were. I was always scared of the next day. Like I would just obviously get drunk enough or to have a good time and but
not max out. You don't have a reason to just fully max out.
Dude, these days, like I never understood how people could get wasted, blacked out, and just keep going.
Gnarly, dude.
Savages. Every time I get drunk, before I black out, I find bed, dude. Like, I do not ever get blacked out. And then when I do black out, I'm pissed, dude. Like I'm like, damn, how did I must have drank a lot too quick. Like I couldn't even.
Yeah, I hate that shit,
dude.
It's
yeah.
like
Don't be drinking all day and then go home and smoke a bowl because you'll get the spin. Yeah, you better do it evenly. You gotta keep that even.
Find some water in between too.
Water's key. That's another problem with me. Sometimes it's hard to
Once alcohol I think it's just the chat. Water's out.
I'm so terrible at drinking water all day. Like I'm so invested in what I'm doing, I forget about drinking or sometimes even eating or and then go home and then drink. I'd rather do that. I should have drank water all day so then I'm prepared for this beer too. But that's
the older we get, the more of a consequence it becomes too. Like the next day or whatever. Like for me at least, I had a hangover not too long ago and it really smacked me in the face, being like, okay, dude, I don't want to feel like this, dude. That feeling alone turns me off from drinking now, And
the more it happens, you're gonna not want to do it again.
Absolutely. Yeah, dude.
No, you always get carried away. It's gonna happen here and there. I've already came to that conclusion, but I try my best to not get to that point. As soon as I feel a little just when you feel too drunk, dude, you're just like, all right, I gotta.
Yeah. It takes the experience of getting really drunk. Though,
what I drink? I drink a lot of. I used to hate them too. I drink a lot of just seltzers, water seltzers.
Yeah.
It just gives me at least if I'm chilling with homies and want that can in my hand and it's like a carbonated drink, and sometimes people think I'm just drinking a freaking White Claw or something. They don't even know that you're drinking.
I thought you were talking about White Claw.
No, like a water, but just a seltzer.
Sparkly water.
Yeah, sparkly water.
That's dope, man.
To be honest, I feel like that's my just way of feeling like I'm drinking, but I'm not, and it's actually hydrating me.
Get the bubbles,
and you're
the placebo, right?
Dude. I drink a lot of those flavored Pellegrinos, dude.
I love those.
They're little skinny can like a White Claw,
What do you think about the Liquid Death? Have you tried those?
I love them.
Yeah.
Dude, lately, actually, we're all on the tea Liquid Death. They're so good.
Really?
They have the tea. Yeah, they're just your peach tea, green tea.
Not overly sweet though. Like
Not at all. They actually only have like how tea has like probably like 50 to 100 milligrams of sugar in it usually.
Not bad at all. Yeah.
No, that's
but
like
enough sweetness, you know.
no. These have like 10 to 20 milligrams of sugar.
Oh, I
like
thought you were talking about the new one.
No. Like they don't have much sugar. Like the water, it's like watered down tea.
Uh-huh.
It's like still base is their water because that's what Liquid Death is all about.
Yeah.
But they have flavor like a tea.
Yeah.
And they are tea, but they just don't. They actually are perfect, dude. You guys gotta try them if you
Dude,
ever
yeah,
have.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
try it,
Man, like it's like a healthy like tea drink. Like that doesn't. I don't know. Honestly, I try to stay away from sugar because I drink a lot of sugar in the morning with coffee and shit.
Yeah.
So like I'm already pretty sugared up right in the morning.
Yeah.
And dehydrated because coffee. I
Yeah.
drink like espresso, so there's like no water in that shit.
That good coffee.
Yeah, dude,
It's
I'm
so
addicted to
crazy.
that shit, dude.
Yeah, you got the whole machine and everything.
I got the
yeah.
Breville at home, dude.
Oh,
Just
shit.
every
Yeah.
morning, dude, I feel like a barista up in there.
Hell yeah. You do the with the
Oh yeah, froth the milk. Yeah.
Yeah, the frother.
That's
Dude,
fire,
I
man.
wake up, fucking press the button, go take a shower,
Yeah,
get out
man.
of the shower, and it's just hot enough to start. Yeah,
fire.
and then dude, my morning routine has been pretty consistent for a few years.
How important,
Never-
how important do you think a morning routine is? Like, you know what I mean? Just in your own life.
I
Just
think it's
speaking-
good. I try to change mine up recently though, like add some activity because I feel like I'm pretty like I sit so much all day.
Yeah.
And like, luckily, like, I take for granted. I think my body, whatever, doesn't, do a lot of fluctuation, but I can tell because I'm so used to like skating all day. Like that's a
Yeah,
lot,
bro.
or like I was moving all day every day when I was, a few
Yeah.
years ago, and now I just feel like it's just not as much movement, even though I'm like, go doing basic stuff, but. Yeah, no. Recently the morning routine I'm trying to add, like a bike ride
Yeah.
or just
Morning
something,
walk,
dude.
yeah,
like
morning walk.
like Melanie has a Peloton, but I'm bored of that, dude. I don't
Yeah.
know. I can't do the Peloton.
Yeah.
It's just like too repetitive and boring, like the classes. She
Yeah.
likes it, but I'm like, I need to look at outside or
Yeah,
something,
you
you know,
feel the
like
sun.
hear the birds
That's
and
the
like
next
see the
step.
Feel the
You're never
air,
gonna go outside if you sit in the Peloton and then go straight to work. It's just like you want to.
Yeah, exactly. Outside, yeah. No, outside's good. You
That's
gotta
good,
have
man.
that.
Do you still ever just like go out for a skate, like
Yeah.
just for
Yeah, like one time I seen you at the park. Like I try to go to the park. It doesn't happen as much as I want to, but
Yeah.
probably, to be honest, probably
Yeah.
3 or 4 times a month.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's like when I get home from work, I'm like, dude, I gotta do something. Like,
Yeah.
so I just grab my board and go. And
Kick push.
and
stuff.
luckily, like, not to brag or anything,
go.
I still pretty good at
Yeah,
it, dude.
yeah,
So
You never lose it, bro. Like,
no, like I can do almost every. I can't
Yeah.
pop as high as I used to. That
Right.
kind of gets, but I can do some tricks, and it gets
Yeah.
me happy. And
Hell yeah.
and like I'm not struggling to get things done. Like I can land
Yeah.
all of them pretty consistently, and then
Impress yourself sometimes. How you're
yeah,
like,
I'm
I
like,
still got it.
then I go home and I'm a little happier. Like,
That's fine, bro. we
yeah.
should link up for a skate soon. We're here real like not
Yeah.
super soon, but
Dude, you know what the best new park, dude, I just went to is that Hemet Park.
What?
Dude, it's beautiful. It's perfect.
It's,
Really?
It's kind of new, huh?
It's brand new.
Off of
Really?
like Stetson, I think, or like right up the main road. Like,
It's
going down.
I don't know Hemet at all, but it's in Hemet.
yeah. I used to
But
work
that
there.
park is amazing. It's not big.
Yeah.
It's bigger than Cat City, but the way they designed it is just perfect. I don't know. I like it a lot. I only went there once and it like rained within like an hour I was there. I was kind of mad, but I need to go again. But
Lot of-
that park was nice.
lot
You've been to Redlands? Redlands Skate Park?
Maybe. There's so many now.
pretty huge.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of
Big.
plazas now. There's plazas
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing to skate, man. Is those.
Well, to get back to it, man.
Yeah.
I started talking about skating.
Sure.
I'll go all day.
yeah. I did want to kind of ask the last question. We kind of talked about this a little bit ago. Do you think money buys your success or your happiness? Will there be a dollar amount that you're like, I got this dollar amount, now I'm happy and successful?
I could probably say no.
Yeah.
Only because there's a few things I've gotten in my life that were very exciting in the beginning, but the high does go down and it just feels normal.
Yep.
Like when I was 24 or 5, I was lucky enough to get a house.
Yeah.
And that felt really
Congrats.
awesome. And now it's just normal.
Short-lived.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
just like
Short-lived high.
I do reminisce on things that I'm like very thankful for, and I have to think back on those things like, wow, like I can't believe I have this already, and like luck got and I didn't even like choose it. It kind of came to me. Like it was like just a very like, I don't know. In my life, I just always like, I just believe if you just stick on the right path, things come to you. You don't have to really go look for them. Like even in business, I'm always trying to find like what to do next, and then I get stressed out because I can't think of what to do next, and I'm like, why am I stressed out and feel like shit right now when everything is fine?
Yeah,
like, I got it. It just comes organically. Like, and even like what I've accomplished and have that shop and everything. Like, I didn't choose to do phone repair. Like, it just was a spark of my idea. I always liked electronics and being hands on. Like, I was like, when I went to COD, I did computer science, and those are the classes I picked. But I was like, what does that even mean, or what am I going to do? I just chose those because that's what I'm interested in, I think.
The word computer.
Yeah. I always wanted a MacBook when I was younger and wanted to edit videos and stuff. That was like always an interest of mine. But deep down, I think what I really always liked was seeing things work. Like that's why the fixing of phones, like when I found that and that like really became who I am, because I found something that made money and I enjoyed seeing that Apple logo turn on. That was like, like when if it didn't work before and now it's turning on, that was like just fucking like
it feels
just
good.
high.
You just freak out in your chair real quick, and then you're like, hell yeah, dude, it's on. Like, and I still to this day, like, I'll fucking work for a few hours on a phone or this and that. And dude, when I see the fucking phone turn on, dude, it's like not only money has been made, but it still feels so good that you made that shit turn on. Yeah, like
uncertainty every time you fix a phone. You're like, I don't know if that's gonna work, or like you do know, but
so there's a lot of common issues that you learn, and like you pretty much know right where to go to fix those problems. But there are a lot of open-ended problems, like when you get water damage. Like those are different every time.
Really, yeah.
It's like you never know. It's like a needle in a haystack. You just have to keep looking for the issue and hopefully solve it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Basically, as far as like money and what it makes you feel like, the best thing about money is like just having freedom and no stress, and
that's why I asked.
That's really the only like like you could have millions of dollars, but dude, there's people sad and depressed still. Like I see it like. And I never want to be that way. I actually have try to learn from those people. Like damn, dude, that's like terrible. That like And another thing I think that always kept me a little more, just less stressed out or like feeling depressed or anything would probably be that I've never really had to look for girls or anything. I've always had the same girlfriend. Like just like that right there, I feel like people just get so stuck on or like ruin a day or something. And I really do think that helped me a lot throughout building a business, because I never had to worry about that. Like I literally never had one feeling of that breakup feeling, because I've had that breakup feeling in high school and it fucking hurts, dude. Like it's all one of the worst feelings ever. You're just stuck there in your fucking bed crying, dude.
Good thing you went through it early though, right?
No, and like even to this day there's always your problems with women, but like I just feel like I never had to go out and look for girls, which can turn into like these bad nights, or or like the next day you just feel like terrible or something. It's a distraction.
It opens up its
I mean, not to say you gotta do your thing and look for your partner, and that's part of life, because everyone wants that. Everyone it's we're human. We all want that other person in your life. But I do feel lucky that like it was something like easy. Like I go home, me and Melanie, we cook dinner and watch a movie and go to sleep and do the next thing every day, which sounds boring as hell, but sometimes it's easy.
I'm sure you
sometimes I am bored and we have to do something crazy to spark it up, but but
that's another podcast.
That'll be on the next one. But no, there's just, I feel like that does help a lot for sure.
Shout out Melanie then, because that sounds awesome, man.
Melanie, you've helped me. We've helped each other.
Absolutely, man. That's
awesome. But that, and no, I've seen just people really depressed over little things that. And
it's always chasing that next dollar, and that's why I asked that. It's like, because people are like, oh, I would need $1 million to be happy. Like, what is that like number on success? Like, there is no real number. Like, your success.
As long as you can pay your bills, dude, that you have, that's number one. And then, you know, you always want more than you need.
Right.
Obvious, like, you don't want to be like hitting the bottom every time you pay your bills every month. That doesn't feel good, I would imagine. But I just feel like as long as you know, have a decent amount you're comfortable with, and at least put that away, and then, you know, have your fun money. So like if you run out of that, at least like you still always have what you need to feel comfortable.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then $1 million, I mean, it's just gonna get you to buy more fancy stuff.
Yeah,
it's not gonna really like make you happier. Because to be honest, I wanted, you know, what I have, like my house, my car, and I do love my new Audi RS3. It's the best car I've ever had.
What is that gray called? That gray is
the
sick,
Nardo
bro.
Gray. But I'll tell you right now, I've had it
sick.
for like a year and almost a half, and I still actually really love it.
Yeah.
But there's still days though. I'm like, you know, when you buy something, you're like, I can never be mad if I have this, you know? Like, why would I be? Just go look at it and you're happy, or do this and you're happy.
Yeah.
Like, well, there's days you're annoyed and you're like, why am I annoyed? I have what I have.
Yeah,
and I
bro.
need or I wanted, and like,
Yeah.
but your emotions and what you like, your brain just, you know, always will have a.
You're driving the sick car, but then you're like, fuck this touch screen.
No, you know what really brings me down is just trying to make customers happy. Sometimes that is the hardest part in owning a business. Like when we can't provide something they want, or if like something, or we gave them an expectation and we were able to, you know, do it.
Yeah.
Like, I still get this really bad feeling sometimes that I wish I was like, you know, it's just like, that's just, you know, life. It's not our problem. We try to help them and we couldn't do it, but we tried our best, you know, and we have to keep think that, like, then, but it still always gets to you. Like, there's just, you're just a person and you have emotions and.
Yeah. And we're human. You can't
human.
be perfect, bro.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what you have. You're always going to, you know, like actually, unless you're like one of those really emotionless people, which I mean, they're out there who just don't give a crap about anyone or anything, and they just
scary, bro.
And they just like only want things and look better or cooler or this or that. And
perfectionist,
I feel like, but those people don't. It's all a lie. But deep down, when they're alone or something, you know, they're fucking probably not feeling the same as they are when they're out there trying to look the way they are. I don't know.
No, it's facts. Absolutely, I feel the same way.
Yeah, it's. Be genuine.
Be genuine.
That's it, man. That's it, man.
Just be a real person. Don't lie or you know, hide things. Just be who you are. And if people don't like you, then that's because that's who you are.
Yeah.
Like if they like you, that's because that's who you are too. You gotta.
That's beautiful.
That's rock solid. Unless you have anything else to share, I want to thank you very much, man, for being on the show. And you know, I also want to let people know that you can find Mark at Repair Labs, downtown Palm Springs. I'm gonna set his logos and, or not logos, but links and all his page and everything like that in the description below. So if you guys are watching this at a later time, you can always catch it in the description. And also check out the High Fuse Entertainment on Instagram. We're always we're sharing actually our DJ content and events that are taking place this summer. We're planning on doing events every month.
Tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow we're gonna be doing a box out barbecue. Mark, you're invited if you want to come hang out by the pool.
To do, you know?
Okay.
Get a burger.
Barbecue. It's gonna be a fun time.
Watch me and Michael beat the snot out of each other. We're gonna put the boxing gloves
that's
on.
ever not a bad time.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna have fun. I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And also follow Jake's painting page on Facebook and
Absolutely.
Instagram for
Panty page, huh? You wearing panties or what?
No. Painting. I'm painting houses.
Oh, painting. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Never mind, guys. Sorry, get you excited. I thought he was wearing panties.
That's my only
Hey, also to tell you guys, I'm proud of you. You guys are, I'm loving to see what you guys are doing,
Thanks,
and
man.
you know,
Appreciate that.
it all takes just motivation and starting what you guys are doing, and
Like
wait
you
a few years, dude, things blow up, dude, or
Yeah.
even sooner. Just keep going.
Like you said, just starting. Like that's what.
No, that's. You could think about it all day, but until
Yeah.
you fucking do it,
push
or
play,
start it,
push record on that
Press
fucking
record.
camera, bro.
No,
the
I'm
hardest
so.
part.
That was my problem, dude. Once I made a few videos of myself just doing stuff in our shop, because pictures don't work anymore.
No,
Pictures don't do anything
yeah.
anymore.
Oh.
But you you see it once and then you start to like it and want to do it more. Like
Yes, sir.
you got to just
Not
start.
me, man. I still hate seeing myself on the camera. I'm like, ah.
Really?
I
You know, I get a little cringy sometimes too on
Yeah.
myself. Like there's some that I really like, and then some I'm like, I watch it too many times. I'm like, oh god, I guess I can't listen to myself one more time.
Literally,
No, I
I
feel
hate
that.
it.
Yeah.
But I've always had these ideas, so that's why I was like, dude, just push record. Push
No, if
record.
you think about something, this is another thing. If you think about something so many times in your head and just like even a year later think of the same thing and you still haven't done it, you're like supposed to do it. Like
Yeah.
it's just a problem. Like
yeah.
there's
Yeah.
some things you think about and you're like, oh, that'd be cool, but you just kind of forget about
Yeah.
it. But then there's some things that like
They stick with you.
consistently bug you because you never started, and those are the things you need to start. Because
Absolutely,
I've
man.
gone through that too many times as well.
I've gone through that a lot too myself.
Yeah, if you think about something and it's repetitive thinking about it,
It's a sign.
you gotta do it.
Yeah.
Do it, bro.
And then
Yeah.
if you hate it, then at least you've tried it. You know.
That's
Yeah.
facts. That's
Yeah, you
facts.
gotta try it.
Dude, thank you so much, Mark. Of
course.
It was a great
Yeah, that was kind
conversation.
of fun. That was cool. I've never
Yeah.
done something like that, so it was fun to talk.
Yeah, we gotta have you back on another one. 'Cause that was
Links will
fire.
be in the bio. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll chat up a little bit before you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Thank you guys.
Peace out.
Nice, man.
All right, now I gotta go get the beers.
Let's
Yeah.